Hey guys, so today we're going to go over Governor John Bel Edwards versus Donald Trump. Well, John Bel Edwards is a Democrat from the South who is very liked by President Trump. He appointed him to a governor's council twice, actually. And right now, I think that he could very well beat Donald Trump in the general election just because of the fact that he's a strong Christian from the South who could entice the white working class to vote for him, just like he did in Louisiana. He's from a very red state, the red state of Louisiana, and he won his governor election with 56% of the vote. No, actually, around 60% of the vote. And right now, his approval rating is at 63%. Actually, that was a November poll. It's actually higher now. On election day, his approval rating was 63%, with 80% of Democrats supporting him, 39% of Democrats, which is a great improvement from 3 months before, where he was only approved by 42% of the general population in Louisiana, 59% of Democrats, and 22% of Republicans, and it just keeps getting higher. So by the time it reaches 2020, he'll probably be reelected in 2019 because he declared that he's running, and he's doing very well in the state of Louisiana. I have a lot of family that live in Louisiana. They say they like him a lot better than Bobby Jindal. I'm pretty sure anyone else is better than Bobby Jindal. But yeah, so right now it's just depending on how the factors between the South and Donald Trump's overall approval rating, which will sway this election in 2020 if it comes between these two. So let's just go straight through it. Washington, Oregon. Washington, strong Democratic state. Some Trump people that I've seen that watch my channel think that Trump can flip it, say that he won by a couple points. Hillary won by a couple points. Actually, she won by 11 in both Washington and Oregon, and they are strong Democratic states. They won't flip anytime soon. Nevada, I'm gonna leave toss up because I don't think John Bel Edwards could really have minority turnout as much as Obama did. Nebraska's one congressional district. I'm gonna leave as red. Right now, I'm just filling in all the safe states. I don't think that Minnesota close between Clinton and Trump. I think that Edwards could appeal to the white working class, and I think that he would choose someone like Joe Biden as his vice presidential candidate, or someone like John Tester from Montana, who's also a conservative Democrat, as is John Bel Edwards. So it's either Joe Biden or Edwards. Biden would be the best part for unifying the party. Edwards would be best in America First type thinking. Iowa, toss up. Now, back to what I was saying. I'm going to leave the entire South as toss up. Why did I forget what I was saying? Sorry. So yeah, so this is the map right now. Donald Trump is at 137 electoral votes before we get to the Northeast and the Rust Belt. And like I was saying before, I don't think Edwards could bring minority turnout unless he chooses like someone like Joe Biden for his vice presidential candidate, because he could turn out voters, or he chooses someone like Michelle Obama. But he's running on a conservative Democratic platform. He's like a blue dog, just not as conservative. So a lot of states that are typically Republican, or typically Republican, are more toss-up states now. Actually, I'm going to leave Montana and North Dakota as toss-up because this is a guy from the South and a conservative Democrat, and those are liked in both of these states. Heidi Heitkamp has a 50% approval rating in one of the deepest red states in the country. Illinois, safe Democrat. Virginia, safe Democrat. I think that since we'll have conservatives voting for him from the South, Virginia's technically from the South, along with the Democratic vote, I think that will go to Edwards. If Edwards chooses John Tester, remember this is John Tester. This is a John Tester scenario. I'm not going to choose Biden for this one. John Tester could very well reshape the map for John Bel Edwards because he's a conservative Democrat, or if Heidi Heitkamp actually, that will either John Tester or Heidi Heitkamp. Heidi Heitkamp will give him the woman vote. John Tester will help him with the men vote. So yeah, now let's go through all the safe Democratic states. District of Columbia, Pennsylvania, New York. Sorry, not Pennsylvania. That one's a toss-up. Usually safe Democrat. Maine, I'm going to give one congressional vote to the toss-up column. One electoral vote. New Hampshire, I'm going to leave as a safe Democrat. I'm sorry if you hear any other background sound. Right now I'm in a parking lot to record this video because I'm not home today and I had to get a upload today. Um, so yeah, this one. So if you hear anything in the background, don't. It's really nothing. Remember that his approval rating down in Louisiana is at 63% in November. Right now it's hovering above the 70% mark. Um, so yeah, that could very well help him in his home state, especially. Especially in the South. He's a conservative Democrat from the South. These are the types of people that voted for Bill Clinton. And these are the types of people that will vote for someone who's not as radical as Donald Trump. These are the conservatives that were the anti-Trump train, but they did vote for him in the primaries. Remember that, so it's going to hurt John Bel Edwards. But that conservative vote that's saying, hey, we'll take a conservative. It doesn't have to be Donald Trump. So they'll take someone, possibly take someone like John Bel Edwards, especially if he chooses John Tester as his vice presidential candidate, who is also a conservative Democrat, or Joe Manchin from West Virginia, but I don't see that one flipping. Ohio, I'm going to leave as a toss-up. The entire Rust Belt, except for Michigan, I'm going to leave safe, because Michigan it barely went for Donald Trump. It was the least Trump victory in the entire Rust Belt, and I think that it will flip back to the Dems, regardless of who the nominee is, unless it's someone like Elizabeth Warren. Maybe even if Warren runs, but who knows? Depends on what happens in 2020. But this is my prediction for now. Let's go over. I'm saying that New Mexico will stay Democrat. I don't see it flipping to the Republicans anytime soon. Colorado as well, with that growing Latino population, but I don't see Edwards getting the Latino population out to come out and vote, which is going to be hard for him to do, considering he's a white working class man. But let's see. Let's go through the entire map. So let's go through some of the obvious ones. Alabama, Missouri, and Mississippi are not flipping, but I think it could be close because he's a conservative Christian from the South. Now remember, he can very much reshape the map based on who he is. Louisiana, I'm going to give to him because of his high approval rating here, and although there's a lot of partisan politics there, if they like their governor and he's doing a good job there, they'll vote for them. So that gives him one state that's gone solidly Republican since Bill Clinton. Yeah, I was very close to Bill Clinton. I think that Edwards could win this by around 6 to 10%. Arkansas. Now, Arkansas is right above Louisiana. They were affected by Hurricane Katrina, not as much, but when natural disaster strikes in Louisiana, it affects parts of Arkansas. And these parts of Arkansas are the people that liked Bill Clinton. Okay, and these are the people who are not strong. They are strong conservative voters, but Edwards meets the requirements. Original Democrats, not new Democrats, not the new progressive wave. The conservative Democrats, more like Bill Clinton or John F. Kennedy. So I'm thinking that he could flip Arkansas if Trump's approval rating is low. If you think about it, only 70% of Republicans approve of him now. That means 30% could actually vote for John Edwards, and that's only a couple months into his presidency. If he continues at this trend, he will reach under 30%, which is entitled to impeachment, considering the fact that senators, regardless of the accusation, will vote for him to be impeached because he's bringing them all down. And a lot of the people that vote in Washington are partisan. And yeah, Georgia, I'm going to give to Donald Trump because I don't think that Edwards could bring minority turnout. South Carolina, I think that one will stay on the Republican side very slightly. Strong African American population here. They just don't come out to vote because I think that Edwards could flip some of the conservative vote if Edwards did choose someone who could spike minority turnout, say a vice presidential nominee like Michelle Obama. He would win South Carolina, but I'm assuming he'll go with a conservative vice presidential candidate. Maine 2nd Congressional District, I'll give that one to John Bel Edwards, conservative vote there, rural vote. He's a white working class member. Along with the white working class goes these two states, giving Wisconsin and Pennsylvania giving John Bel Edwards the presidency, and that leaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 swing states that he could still win, and Donald Trump could end up only winning 171 electoral votes. Now listen, I do not like John Bel Edwards personally, but this is how I think the map will lay out. John Bel Edwards, I don't really like how he's been acting. He does call out Trump on some things, but he agrees with him and some of my political views are definitely conservative, and some of them are definitely liberal. Um, but I don't like John Bel Edwards personally. But I do think that with his conservative background and his Southern background, his strong Christian background, I think that one could definitely help him with the conservative vote. North Carolina, that one is trending more Republican. But if I did give that one to John Bel Edwards, it would be by a margin of Obama in '08 by 14,000 votes or so. Since he is very much liked in the South, I think that North Carolina could flip to him, just because of the fact that he is a Southern Democrat. Um, but they voted for Bush. However, they voted for Obama. So remember that they voted for Bush and Obama. So they vote pretty much for whoever the general country likes. They usually vote with the winner of the Electoral College. Um, yeah, that's. So I'm gonna give that one to John Bel Edwards, but I'm gonna say it's less than a 1% victory there. Florida, I think that one will definitely flip to the Democratic side. Just think about it. If you're taking someone who, this is someone who can, he may not be able to spike Latino turnout, but he'll be able to take the conservative Latinos who come out and vote. The conservative, around maybe 30% of the conservative vote here in Florida. Remember, that's a big margin, and all of the Democratic vote. Just think about that. John Bel Edwards will not split the party. If he chooses Joe Biden, that will help him even more with some of the Democrats who might vote for Jill Stein if she runs again. But he'll get almost 100% of the Democratic vote because I don't see Edwards as a divider, considering the fact that he'll be liked by the Clinton Democrats and some of the Sanders Democrats. Even though he's not as progressive, they'll still rally behind him because they don't want a repeat of 2016. So let's go over to Nevada. I think that one is trending more Democratic, so it could. History tells us that it'll stay blue. Colorado, history tells us that one will stay blue. Montana, North Dakota. If he chooses John Tester, I think that he'll take Montana. I don't think he'll take North Dakota, but I think he'll be close, like Obama and McCain close. Iowa, I think that one will flip to the Democratic side. Just hear me out for a second. White working class, white working class, white working class. That's essentially all he needs, plus the Democratic vote, and he wins those electoral votes. Along with Ohio, I think that one will flip to the Democratic side. So, yeah, this is pretty much it. My election night is doing very well. I've worked on a lot of the election night type prediction calls already. I have the 7:30 through 10 p.m. done, and I'll try to get it out by tomorrow or the next day. So thank you guys for watching again, and this is the electoral map in John Bel Edwards versus Donald Trump, if Donald Trump's approval rating is trending how it is now.